Hello, everyone. Foodie Friends on Fox 26. My name is Katie Stone. Sitting next to me is the infamous, legendary restaurateur, Alex Brennan Martin. Thank you so much for allowing us to be here today.
We are. You got to be careful how you're throwing around that infamous stuff.
Listen, no, non-negotiable. No.
We can throw it right back. All right.
Yeah, so we are here for a special edition of Foodies and Friends on Fox 26, Houston Restaurant Weeks edition. We are in week 2 of Houston Restaurant Weeks 2022, record-breaking year. We've got over 300 restaurants participating. But this guy right here, he's one of the OGs, you guys. He was in Houston Restaurant Weeks from the beginning. He helped my mother cleverly get it started, helped her with many of the initial struggles and obstacles and ideas and fires to put out since 2003. And Brennan's has always been one of the top donations to the Houston Food Bank at the end of the event. So many thanks to you for that. Alex, let's get right to the food. We've got your infamous turtle soup.
Turtle soup.
Yes.
And the answer to the question is yes, it is made with real turtle.
Real turtle.
Yes. A lot of folks question that. We always offer a little bit of additional dry sherry with it. Makes it less painful for the turtle. But this is.
I've always been curious. What is the kind of the background of turtle soup? Is it
okay? So turtle is if you take a turtle apart. Thank you. The meat on it it's a lot like turkey necks, right? And so what they would do is stew the legs and the whatnot of the turtle. The meat would fall off, and so you'd have all this little bit of meat floating around in a broth. Thus turtle soup.
And is it a more Louisiana dish, or is it a Texas dish?
It's originally very French.
Okay.
But yeah, adopted and brought over by the French and the Creoles and the Spaniards.
And this is a dish that you all have served in the restaurant for how many years, right?
Going back to the original Brennan's was 1947, I believe.
So your mother had
my mom, my grandfather, and my uncle, and it was a real family affair. My grandfather had a career as a shipbuilder, a wooden shipbuilder, and retired. And he and his eldest son bought the old Absent House Bar. And then, as things go, across the street, opened the first Brennan's, which was on Bourbon Street in New Orleans.
Yeah, and your mother also was
Mom got involved in
legendary figure in restaurateur in the and throughout her entire life, but around the country, she was known. She was very famous.
Yeah, she became involved right after she graduated from Secretarial High School in New Orleans, and just jumped in with both feet at a very early age, at 16, 17, and that was it. Off to the races for the next 60 plus years.
Yeah, what a brilliant woman. She was truly a pioneer in her time in her industry, and definitely her effects are felt all over the country, especially here too. And it's nice that, keeping it in the family, taking over next generation. We'll talk to Alex's daughter, Lexi, coming up a little bit in a few minutes. Again, next generation. She works here with you in the restaurant.
Yeah, she does.
Yeah.
She does. I think much to her chagrin. I mean, she was done with school. School was done with her about the beginning of COVID.
Yeah.
And so I was like, well, get your butt down there.
Get on in here. Yeah, it was all hands on deck. I remember we came into a Fox 26 segment with Ruben, and Carl Walker was on the line. He's like, I haven't been on the line in 22 years.
Yeah, it's crazy. We've all been doing
washing
things
dishes
we haven't done in quite some time.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna move on to.
Oh, I thought you were gonna eat.
Oh well, yeah, we're gonna. Okay, yeah,
for
sure. I'll switch out and
have
then
a little bit of the turtle. You can either get it with a full dose of the sherry, or you can just have.
Talk about
this. This is our Boudin. And it's just a little bit different. It's done with
our foodie cam. There we go.
Very good with duck and there as you'll see a little bit of the sun-dried tomato. I'm going to scoot that out from underneath of you so we can both be on the same page. But it's just a take on the traditional Louisiana Boudin, and it's a little bit updated, if you will. A little fried quail egg. Everything's better au cheval, as they say in Paris. So with a fried egg on top.
Yeah, talk about your staff right now. Talk about your chefs and who you've got.
Great,
back there.
Well,
yeah.
Jose Rivola has been with us for many years, and he is
Chef Jose, infamous.
He's wonderful. He's out a bit right now. His daughter got married, and they're going on a big vacation back to
nice.
El Salvador. But at any rate, John Salazar has rejoined us. John worked with us way back when Carl was a chef, and Mark Holly and a lot of the old gang. So it's great to have John back with us.
Yeah, there's so many famous chefs that have come out of your sphere, right? Like you guys have really had such a strong influence.
We've been really blessed to have wonderful people work with us. It's truly been one of the great things in my career here, New Orleans, and it's kind of a part of.
Yeah, well, and your mom really was a big part of setting that up and kind of setting the standard for, I think, of what a lot of other restaurants aspire to be.
Well, I think if you get known for having being a place where good people can learn and also contribute.
Sure.
And I that's literally there is nothing else to the story beyond that.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you bite into the Boudin, if you like,
for sure.
This is a vegetable enchilada, which is kind of a look for us, a little bit of a take on our crawfish enchilada that we've done for many years, also with the same tomatillo salsa. And it's very similar, but obviously no crawfish.
Sure.
And it's a very rich dish, and people sort of stare at us when we have things like crawfish enchilada on our menu, being a Louisiana dish, but it really is. It just makes a lot of sense, and it's a labor of love from some of the folks in the kitchen. So I think folks will enjoy that.
Yeah, and talk a little bit about how your HRW menu gets created, because every year you put a lot of your favorites, a lot of your best sellers, but then every year you guys will maybe put a different dish. So what is your strategy as far as when you create your HRW menu each year?
Well, number one, we're going to have our traditional dishes that folks expect from us. Turtle soup, bananas Foster. They're going to be on the menu. But then, we like to also introduce people to different things. This is my favorite salad that we do. This is a tea-smoked chicken that we do that's just pulled off. It's done. We do it every day. A very simple salad. Today is our day for au cheval with topped with fried eggs. But you cut into that egg yolk. It runs everywhere, and it's super rich. The chicken couldn't be more moist here. I'll give you a fork. You can dive in there and. For sure. But it's a very simple salad. Fresh crumbled bacon. It's delightful.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks beautiful. You've been quite active with Houston Food Bank for many years. I believe you're on the board or have been on the board. Not right at this time.
Some time ago, a friend of mine was chairman of the board for a time. I'm just a big fan of the cause. Yeah. And I go way back when to long before they moved to the new building. The new building, and just remembering how, it was impossible for them to get anything out. It was really a struggle. And that, I think that the dynamic of the new building, the old Cisco building, and they moved into that, and that really changed everything. And then a lot of folks in the logistics business got involved, and it changed. Yeah. And of course you have folks in the truck business and the transportation business, and because that's what they do, they move food.
They're they're in the game of logistics.
Exactly right.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people don't realize.
Really changed, and I don't think a lot of people don't know we have the largest food bank in the country.
We do,
and that's both a wonderful and horrible thing.
Sure.
So
the fact that there's this much need. Oh yeah, let's hang on one second. We're going a little fast on food. It's okay.
Right, I'm sorry.
The fact that we still have there's over 1.1 million people in the Houston area who are food insecure, and ever since COVID kind of started, that need, believe it or not, has doubled. And so the food bank really was encountering a lot of additional logistical issues that they just hadn't had to ever deal with before.
Yes.
Yeah.
The same thing for everyone. We've struggled from a staffing standpoint. We're still closed on Mondays. due to staffing
Sure.
issues. Well, the food bank was no different.
Yeah.
And getting trucks repaired, getting drivers, getting folks to work in the warehouse. I mean, it's just been a struggle.
It's really tough. Talk a little bit about, you mentioned the cause and your environment, your culture here at the restaurant, which kind of helps you retain your staff for such a long time. But, talk a little bit about why it is so important for your restaurant to continue to give back, be involved in the community, supporting the Houston Food Bank and participating in Houston Restaurant Weeks.
Well, gosh, I mean, we're blessed, period, in a conversation. And so to those who much is given, much is expected. I mean, it was beat into me as a child, and it's just the right thing to do. Yeah. Our staff is also likewise quite enthusiastic about the opportunity to make a difference in other people's lives. Yeah. I've had a number of times over the year where staff will come and tell me, hey, look, I know someone who has benefited directly from the food bank. And those are stories that I think it goes around within the staff. It certainly is something that we're all too aware of. And it matters. Yeah,
it means a lot. And the really, really wonderful thing about Houston Restaurant Weeks is every dollar that is donated to the Houston Food Bank, they're able to convert that into 3 meals. So
it's amazingly efficient.
Amazing. And so what's really cool is that you can be out to dinner with your girlfriend or an anniversary dinner, and that $55 meal is going to generate a $6 donation. And that's 18 meals just from one person. So, going out on a date with your girlfriend or your husband or whoever is literally feeding people. And I think that's incredible. Yeah.
It was a great idea way back when, and it's just getting better.
Yeah. Talk about the early days of HRW.
I was trying to find, we lost so much information. We had a fire here in 2008 during Hurricane Ike, and we lost all of our old historical information. So I really can't recall.
Yeah.
But I want to say it was no more than maybe,
I think it was 13 restaurants that first year.
It was a dozen is the number that's always stuck in my mind. And it was just sort of the list. Wait, what? What are you doing? What? And we're like, just enjoy the opportunity here. Yeah. We're on sale. Take advantage of it. And
this is amazing. Oh wow.
Yeah.
Salad.
It's truly truly one of my favorites.
Yeah.
But it was your mind, and there were a group of us that were lamenting summertime in Houston.
Sure.
And one thing came to another. Let's benefit the food bank. Your mom's obviously the cause of her life. And then we just threw a few restaurants together, and it just sort of grew marginally. When I say marginally, probably added a half dozen or so a year but it really seemed to explode. I don't know, 10, 15 years ago.
You're exactly right. Yeah. I think around 2011, 2012 was when it crossed the $1 million mark in donation to the food bank. Yeah.
That's just nuts. I mean, if you really think about it, $1 million.
I know, in one month.
In one month. And that was an amazing accomplishment.
Yeah, and that's the biggest check that the food bank gets all year long.
It is. Yeah. It is. I said this to you the other day. My favorite check's tray.
Yes, absolutely. All right. What's on our foodie can?
Shrimp and grits. From New Orleans, it is what it is. It is just a dish that people scream for, and again, it wouldn't be safe to have not have it on our restaurant weeks menu. It's very simple. The grits. If you're going to taste anything, grab a fork, have a bite of the grits. The grits are done by a milled in Waco, Texas, and the old-fashioned way. That's what I'm saying.
Baby.
Combined with goat cheese.
You guys need to have some of these grits. Oh my goodness.
and combined with goat cheese.
From
the Texas goat cheese as well.
Boy.
And so it is very rich. It is not something you want to have for breakfast, lunch, and dinner every day.
I mean, I think I would love this for breakfast and lunch for sure. Yeah.
It's just very simple, and these shrimp are quickly grilled, and then it's just a very simple lemon sauce with a few simple herbs, nothing complicated. We do this dish in the dining room. We call it shrimp chippewa, and we actually flame it and cook it table side.
Yeah. And, I did see that earlier. Yes.
And folks really go crazy for it. No way to keep up with that for restaurant weeks.
I haven't had grits this good, you guys. These are
great.
And is this on your regular menu too?
Right? It is.
Like,
it is another one of the dishes that's on our regular menu. That's correct.
Well, Alex, we are going to swap out guests now for the junior version here. Thank you again so much for being here with us for a few minutes. And I so appreciate too, your longtime support of my mother and all of your guidance and wisdom and
it was
love.
A lot of fun. I remember some Saturday mornings sitting there when you're in the radio office with your mother and your mother making me stand up and dance around.
Of course.
And I'm asking myself, wait a minute, I volunteered for this.
Yes,
right?
you did.
I did.
Nobody. You may have thought you had a choice, but you really didn't. It's but I truly appreciate she loved you.
We had a good time.
She talked of you often. You were one of her dearest friends.
And
I so thank you for your support.
I'm sure she's at the saloon in the sky, which is what my mom's idea of heaven was.
They're probably hanging out together.
There you go. All right.
We're going to welcome Lexi. Yeah. So I'm so excited to introduce you guys to Lexi Brennan Martin. This is Alex's daughter, and we first met. She started working in the family business a couple of years ago, right? And so
about full time for about 3 years.
Yeah. And via email, as everybody would generally meet during COVID. I love the fact that you're working with your family. It's such a rich family tradition. It's so important, especially with your grandmother being so influential in hospitality just worldwide. Talk a little bit about what it means to you to, walk in such wonderful footsteps and legacy.
I mean, for my grandmother, it means a lot to be following in the family footsteps of my father and some of my aunts and uncles. Well, I mean, they haven't fired me yet, so but I kind of started doing full time through COVID, so it was kind of trial by fire. But I feel like I learned more than I could in 10 years working just through COVID. And kind of just having to figure out how to do to go, having to figure out
things that your dad really hadn't even had to figure out before. New challenges. But,
I feel like we've, it's finally picking back up, and we've got Houston Restaurant Weeks going on. And it's finally getting busy again, so we're happy for it.
All right, talk about this dish right here.
Definitely. We have our filet mignon topped with a Creole onion ring with some béarnaise sauce.
Beautiful.
And I think Chef did a little garnishing with some edible flowers.
Beautiful. Yeah.
But it's one of my favorite cuts.
Yeah. And is this on your menu throughout the year, or is this special?
Yeah, they'll change up the plating a bit, but filet is on our all year round.
Yep. Very nice. Very nice. Move on to another. Yeah, I grew up in Houston, similar to you, and Alex, your dad was always one of my mom's good friends, and I always remember him being a go-to source for radio and TV, and she trusted him, and she really sought his opinion and respected his opinion, and I just think that we're so lucky that Houston is so lucky to have such a wonderful and cherished family to continue.
Definitely. I mean, you ask my dad, he'd say, "Oh no, we just work here." But he's a much better speaker than he gives himself credit for.
Yeah. So is this your first season in Houston Restaurant Weeks, kind of in the restaurant, or did you do last year too?
Probably my first season, kind of like downstairs on the floor.
Yeah, kind of in the trenches almost. Yeah.
Pretty much the only thing I knew about Houston Restaurant Week. Well, one, it benefited the Houston Food Bank, and two, it got busy.
Yes.
So I'm seeing that firsthand myself.
Yeah. So traditionally in August, restaurants are. Thank you, Alex. August is a slow time of year for restaurants, and I'm experiencing it now personally because all of my son's friends are out of town, so we're having trouble scheduling play dates because everybody's getting in those last minute trips. And I would be out with my mom during HRW, and it's perspective matters, right? So servers and valet and bartenders would thank her because usually at that time they would be laid off during the month of August.
No, I mean, you can even compare it to just a couple weeks ago. It was everyone's out of town. No one's really left in Houston, but Houston Restaurant Weeks definitely gets our dining rooms filled.
And I mean, we, you know, so the show Foodies and Friends on Fox 26, we have it for 3 p.m. because we broadcast the show live from the dining room in most cases. And we think that 3 p.m. is, you know, a lull in the time, so we're not disrupting the staff.
2 weeks ago,
exactly. And so we came in today and it's packed. It's 3 o'clock. It's packed in here. Every table is mostly every table was seated by the time we you know got here at 2.
No, it's a happy change.
Yeah, and so that's just so wonderful because I've heard so many great things about your menu this year too. Talk about this item that we've got on the foodie cam.
Yeah, most definitely. We've got our grilled fish, which I believe is red fish today, and then you got a little bit of okra, tomato, corn. You got your holy trinity. What could go wrong?
Yeah. What is your best seller, would you say, so far from your HRW menu? Or do you guys know that? Yeah. Or the most popular item that's being ordered?
Probably our goldfish pontchartrain is always a really popular choice because you've got
get in there,
fried. Thank you.
She's like, I see it. You've got
your shrimp, you got your oysters, you have
and you guys are known for that. You guys are really well known for that kind of food, and so people, you know, expect. And the really cool thing too about HRW is you get to see a lot of new faces too, right? New diners.
No, we are lucky enough to. There was a group of probably 30 women in here earlier. They got a bus somewhere and came here.
Yeah.
And they come every year just for Houston Restaurant Weeks.
Aww, that was
we're
so
lucky
nice.
Enough to see them once or twice other times of the year, but for HRW, they never miss it.
Oh my gosh. And that's so cool because I do see a lot of that. You know, this is my 3rd season, so to speak, at the helm. And, you know, people really plan in advance. You know, they make lists, handwritten lists. They take pictures. They, you know, go to the website. I get so many requests for, you know, the ability to download a list because they're trying to schedule their lunches.
Yeah, we see a lot of stuff on social media, people saying their top 10 picks or top 3. And, you know, we're lucky enough to be on some people's list. And we're lucky enough to have some people that come every year to try the new menus.
Yeah. And the nice thing is that you have to know too that, you know, obviously in the restaurant business, consistency is key, right?
Definitely.
And so you guys are always at the top of the list in donations to the Houston Food Bank. And so I think that really speaks volumes to the job that you all are doing and the quality and consistency. This is a must visit stop, in my opinion, on Houston Restaurant Weeks. Talk about our foodie item.
Definitely. We've got our grilled pork chop right here with some sweet mashed potatoes. It's one of my favorites.
And what's the seasoning and how's it prepared? And we've got a foodie cam item. There we go.
We go.
Yeah, there we go. Anything about the sauce or the seasoning, anything like that? Or
I'm going to quote my menu right here because I came unprepared.
Oh, no, it's okay.
And then I'm going to quote my chef over there who's hiding in the corner.
Hi, chef.
Hi, chef.
I'm going to take a little bit.
What sauce do we have over here?
What kind of sauce is on here?
Well, this is our.
Yeah, sure.
Peek in real quick.
This is our blackberry by streak sauce.
Thank you.
Blackberry.
So it has a hint.
Wow.
A hint of acid to it, which is our fresh squeezed lemon juice. Well, so it gives it a little bit of a sweet and sour taste to it.
This is beautiful, chef.
Yeah.
How many times I print the menus? You think I know that by now?
Well, it kind of runs together because it is quite busy, right? Yeah. Definitely an item that gets ordered a lot, chef.
Actually, you know, being the protein that it is, it tends to lean more towards the men side of things versus the women. But we do sell a fair amount of them.
Yeah.
So I think folks are quite happy with it.
Yeah.
And it's great looking.
What's our time look like? Got it. Yeah. All right. We've got our dessert here. About 5 more minutes left in the show.
Awesome cheesecake. That's one of my favorite.
Cheesecake. And talk about the cheesecake a little bit. Do you guys make it here? Was it a particular kind of cheese?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
We call it technically Lily's Creole cream cheese,
Oh.
and Lily is one of our pastry chefs. She's Chef Jose's wife.
Oh, nice.
So they're one of our kitchen dream teams.
Yeah,
And
you guys do have a legitimate kitchen dream team with those guys and Chef Carl Walker in the back there too.
yeah,
and yeah.
we have a lot of
Superstars.
families working here.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, the Creole cream cheese, we do the Creole cream with we make our rennet here in house. So it's basically just a thicker, more carb filled cheesecake.
Fantastic. Exactly what we
And
need.
then we got a little caramel drizzle on top. And then we have our beignets, of course.
Is this our last dessert right here? Yeah,
Yes.
perfect. We will wrap up with the infamous. Of course, you cannot come to
Yes.
Brennan's without having the world famous beignets. And for some of the viewers out there, Lexi, what exactly are beignets?
Basically donuts.
Right.
In a nutshell. But
Yeah. You put a little
copy it.
magic, a little special.
Yeah, we like to,
Brennan's.
we call them our Petite Bayou City beignets. Very similar to the classic Café du Monde beignets in New Orleans. We just like to do them a little smaller, so they're a little bit more prettier to eat. And then, of course, you can't forget the Café au lait sauce to dip in. Some people just drink it straight. But it's the perfect
The
dipping.
best way is to.
Thank you.
Do I have any powder on my? Oh my gosh!
I think we both do.
I could shoot this right now. Like I could just go and say, please more, please. Well, Lexi, I'm so impressed with you.
Thank you.
Jim, for what that's worth.
Very appreciative.
I think you've done a wonderful job. I see, I've known you for a couple of years now, and you have the absolute utmost professional of a father and a mother, of course, grandmother, to follow in the footsteps, and you really are very lucky to have.
I feel very fortunate to be able to go to the University of Brennan's and learn from the best.
Yeah, for sure. Because there's so many superstars that have come out of Brennan's and your father's and your grandmother's tutelage.
Definitely.
So we are just so lucky to have you guys here as a Houston institution, truly. Absolutely one of the Houston Restaurant Week's must visits. And they are, again, always at the top of the list in Houston Food Bank donation. And so that really means a lot. So thank you for helping me to continue my mother's legacy. You know a little bit about legacy yourself. And, Houston Restaurant Weeks was my mother's, crowning jewel. It is what she dedicated her life to. It was her mission. So I'm excited that you will, you'll probably be running this place one day, and we'll probably be friends for the next, 30, 40 years. And in a few years from now, we'll be talking about Brennan's participating in Houston Restaurant Weeks, and I think that's really cool.
Well,
so,
I'm looking forward to it.
Sounds good. Well, that is going to do it for us here at Brennan's of Houston downtown. We are so grateful that we were able to take a look at their fabulous and very valuable HRW menu. We hope you guys will make a reservation. They are doing, is it brunch, lunch, and dinner? Yeah, everything. And when are you guys open?
We're open every day except Monday. We do brunch on Saturday and Sundays, lunch 11 to 2 during the week, and dinner 5:30 to 9.
Yeah, and I've heard the brunch is pretty killer, so you guys need to come and try it out. And what's the best way for people to keep up with you guys?
Definitely follow us on social media, Brennan's Houston, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Sign up for our newsletter on the website to stay up to date on all of our upcoming events and good specials like Houston Restaurant Week, and stay in the loop.
Yeah, for sure. All right, you guys, that does it for us. We will be back on Friday with another special Houston Restaurant Weeks edition of Foodies and Friends. And Ruben Dominguez and I will see you tomorrow morning live at 8 a.m. for another incredible restaurant on Houston's #1 morning show on Fox 26. This is Katie Stone. This is Lexi Brennan Martin at Brennan's of Houston. We'll see you guys next time. Oh, nice. There's the photos. Yeah, this is the closing. Isn't that nice? So this is